Hey guys, so today I'm starting a new thing on my channel. It's called the Weekly Art Challenge. So every week I'm going to be posting a new video. I'm starting it now and it's going to go till the end of the summer, where I'm just going to kind of introduce a new kind of art project idea, which you could just do if you're bored or just if you want to make something. And they're a lot of fun and they're kind of doodly, and they're not all going to be like drawing art. It might be painting or just anything. There's a lot of things. There's going to be quite a few weeks to do it. So this week, I am starting with this cool watercolor thing, which I came up with myself, but I'm sure other people have done it somewhere. So basically, you start out by making a bunch of random blotches with one color watercolors, but you could do various. You could do a bunch of colors. You don't have to do it all this way. I'm just kind of here to inspire you, hopefully. And so you start by making random splotches, and then you look for shapes in them. It's kind of like looking for shapes in clouds. So like this was a chick. I just outlined it and it just looked like a tiny baby chick. And these were the shape of acorns, those dots I made. And this one kind of looks like a little creature to me, like those are the eyes and that's like the ear and a bunch of fluff, or I don't know. And then you end up with this really cool kind of art piece, which is one of a kind, and they're really fun to just make a bunch of the colored ones in advance and then take them along with you so you can doodle on them. And these are all the ones I've made. This one's called Up in the Sky When Nobody's Looking. This one's called Fire Hazard. And the other two, you will see the names of later in my video. You're going to start out by picking a color to use. I'm using green right here just because that's what I felt like. Just do whatever you're feeling like that day. Or make a bunch and just use all the colors, whatever. And I'm using a straw to make patterns and different blobs of color, but you can do whatever you want. Just make kind of random abstract blotches of color, and it's going to be really fun to just turn them all into stuff afterwards. At least I find it fun. And I like to get my watercolors really wet just so that you have a lot of ink to work with. And a cool way that you can get splatters on your paper is to use a straw to blow over the paintbrush as you Do whatever you want to do whatever your mind tells you to do. I'm just here to give you some ideas. So here I put a dot on the paper and then just swirled it around with the back of my paintbrush, and I think that looks pretty cool. So whenever I'm drawing these, I like to just look for shapes. Like I said, it's kind of like looking for shapes in clouds. And I find this kind of artwork really inspiring because I go like, oh my gosh, look, it could be that. And I think it has a really cool effect. So, and also don't really worry about whether it's like weird or not, because I don't usually draw such kind of mystical stuff, or like a bird with a really long beak. I wouldn't normally draw stuff like that, or like the bird you saw back in my other picture. But I just think it makes it more interesting if you just kind of go with the flow, and I think it's really fun. And of course, you don't have to draw things. You could also fill out all the different blotches with geometric shapes or just patterns, because that would look cool too if that's the kind of doodling you like to do. Or just do whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. Like I said before, whenever I'm doing this, I kind of like to think of themes. Like this one kind of had a flower theme, but I've done with like dragons or butterflies and birds like you saw on the other one. So yeah, so I usually try to think of themes, but just do whatever. And the last thing you could do, which is an optional step, you could sign it and date it, and you could also name it. This one's called Little Girls, Big Girls, and this one's called Flowers and Feathers. That's just what I decided to name them. So I hope you enjoyed this week's art challenge, and I do encourage you to try to do this. It's kind of like doodling, only with a twist, and I think it's really fun. So I do encourage you to try this, and if you like the idea of a weekly art challenge from me, then please give this video a thumbs up, and if you have any requests or suggestions, you could leave them down in the comments. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!